So good news, everyone. There is another bank switching deal, another £200 bank switching deal, this time from Santander. This amount of money we're seeing right now from banks is the highest switching offers I have ever seen, the biggest value going, which is great news if you've not taken advantage before. Bad news, unfortunately, for someone like myself who switched for a lower rate, but good news for you if you can take advantage of it. Now, this one does have some terms and conditions, specific accounts you can apply for, and some actions you need to take in order to trigger this money. I will take you through each of those steps. I'll also talk to you about which account I think you should go for. There are five options, but only three of them I think are worth considering. Before we get into those details, it's important to say that this one does not have a published end date right now. I don't know when it will finish. It's launched at the end of January 2023, and when an offer ran around the same time last year, it was until the middle of March. So let's assume it's going to go for maybe 6 weeks, which means that you've got a bit of time to take advantage of this. But if you are definitely going to do it, you're eligible from the things we're going to talk about in a minute, then I wouldn't wait around so much. I would maybe go for it. Although in previous times, they have given a short amount of notice that it was going to close. They haven't just pulled it completely, but I can't guarantee the same will happen this time round. So who can get this? First of all, that's the most important thing to talk about. Well, good news. Both new Santander customers and existing Santander customers are eligible for this offer unless you've already had some switching cash from the bank. So that rules out anyone who's taken advantage of the deals over the last few years when these switching deals really came into place since 2021. But you might also have fallen foul because there used to be a £50 refer a friend scheme that ran. And also this links to the bank Kahoot, which is also part of Santander. They previously may have had some switching deals as well. So if you had the money, sadly, you can't get it this time. A lot of people ask me, how do I know? Well, hopefully you'll remember it. If not, if you're still with the bank and you haven't left them, and then going back to them, you have to go through all of your statements. A little side trick for you, what I do, I write down the date that I switch and from which bank to which bank. So I've got a list of them. So I know that if these deals do come around, sometimes they have a cutoff date or whatever it is, I know if I can go for it or not. So that's who can go for it, new or existing customers. You have to open up one of, say, 5 accounts, but there are only 3 that I would consider. They are the Edge, the Everyday, or the 1, 2, 3. So you either open up one of these accounts brand new because you haven't got it already, or if you have one of these accounts already, then that's fine. You can switch into this. The problem is for the existing customers, if you already have one of these accounts and you want to switch into it, is the only way to switch, at least according to Santander, is to go into branch. You might be able to do it over the phone, but you certainly can't do it from your online banking. If that is the case, and this is what I did a couple of years when I took advantage of the offer, I just opened up a new account, a different account. In this case, it was an Everyday account because that's a free account. And I switched into that from a different bank. If you're new, it doesn't matter. I say we'll go back to this in a second. We'll look at the different options for you. But very important that you either have or open one of these accounts. And really, really, really vital, it's called bank switching promotions. You need to switch into it from a different bank. This video here takes you through what bank switching is. If it's new to you, watch that. That explains the process. The result of a bank switch, though, very quickly means that your old bank will be shut down. It will be closed. I'm sure you've got lots more questions. Okay, they should be answered in that other video. So you open up one of these accounts, you switch into it, or you already have one of the accounts and you switch into it. What do you have to do there? Well, then you have to set up 2 direct debits or have 2 active direct debits on the new account or on the account you are switching into. If you already have the account and it already has direct debits, you don't need to set up new ones. You've already got them. That's fantastic. But a new account, then you have to add these 2 direct debits to it. Importantly, you do not need to switch 2 direct debits. They don't need to be on the old account. I know sometimes people get concerned they haven't got much time to set these direct debits up there to move them over. Don't need to worry. It's all about the new accounts. You've got plenty of time to do this. In fact, you have to do this. You have to set them up and have the money come out of them in the first 60 days from opening the account, or at least from starting the switch if you're an existing customer. If you are struggling for direct debits, then I have got a whole video looking at some new, cheap and fast ones you can set up. But as we'll come back to in a minute, depending on your account choice, this shouldn't be too much of a problem. So that's the first thing. You set up 2 active direct debits. The next thing you have to do is to pay in a £1,000 deposit. And let's actually get this up on screen as well so you can see this. A £1,000 deposit. That money can go in one go. It can go in multiple smaller amounts. It doesn't have to stay there, but it just has to have at least £1,000 added to that account in the first 60 days. You also need to set up and log in to your online or app banking at least once in the first 60 days as well. So make sure you know to do that, because that's the kind of thing that can be easily forgotten about. And that's it. So you've met those criteria. You've switched over from a different bank, from not Santander, from a different bank. And then within that first 60 days, Santander will check that you met that criteria. And then within the next 30 days, they'll pay you that £200 into your account. So at the worst, you're looking at 90 days to get this money, which compared to some of the different offers, that's quite a long time. But from my experience and listening to you guys on my Facebook group and other comments you leave me, often this money comes through much, much faster. So I can't guarantee it. So I wouldn't bank on them giving you the money faster, but you might be able to get it much, much sooner than those 60 days. I think when I did it, I got it in about 8 weeks or something like that, which was nice to have that cash a little bit sooner. Obviously, once you've got that cash, if you don't want to keep that current account, well, then you can switch away. There's nothing in the terms and conditions that say you have to stay with Santander once you've got that money. Personally, I would probably wait until that 90 days is up though, just to be safe, just to be sure. So which account do you go for? Let's have a look then at that Santander page again, the 3 accounts that I think you should go for. As I said, there are a couple of other options as well. One of them is the select account, which has extra insurance things. I wouldn't bother that. And one is private banking, again, which is not going to be for most of us. So a bit annoying that they've set this up on the Santander website this way. But let's talk about the 2 accounts on either side first of all, the Edge and the 123. These accounts have different features, but the key reason why you might want to consider them is they give you cash back on your bills. Now, if you have the Santander 123 Lite account, which sadly was closed to new customers at the end of last year, then stick with that. That's going to pay you more in cash back on your bills for a lower fee. That's what I've got. That's what I'm sticking with, okay? So if you've got that, stick with that. And if you want to take advantage of this offer, open up an everyday current account, which is the basic free account. There's no charges for that. Open up that account, switch into that from a different bank, and then you can always keep that everyday account just sitting there ready to take advantage of a different switching deal later on if you don't want to use it for any more banking. However, if you don't have the 123 Lite account and you are paying your bills yourself, they're not spread across a house share or someone else in the household is paying all of them. So we're talking here about council tax, water, gas, electricity, broadband, TV and mobile phone. They're the key ones that come under this cashback. Then you want to look at the Edge or the 123. Now, the 123 account has a £4 monthly fee, whereas the Edge has a £3 monthly fee. However, the 123 account will pay higher cashback on some of those categories, up to 3%, whereas with the Edge, it's all 1%. So there are calculators on the Santander website for both of these accounts. I would go into them, put in how much you pay on your bills, because you may find that some of the bills with a higher cashback is paid, you don't actually have those. Although since one of them is gas and electricity at 2%, there is a good chance you are going to earn more than that, the size of those bills right now. But put those into calculators and work out which one is best for you. And remember to take into account the fee. For most people, I think the 123 account is going to pay more in terms of cashback. The only other reason why you might want to look at the Edge over the 123 is because that also offers for 1 year 4% interest on up to £4,000. After a year, that drops down to 3.5%, although obviously the variable rates, they may well boost that later on. But at the moment, you're looking at 4% for a year on up to 4K. Even taking into account the fee and the cashback, you might find that's a better option than other easy access accounts right now. Although again, really, really important that you do compare what you can get in other savings accounts. I've got a whole list of them every single month in my update here on savings accounts and over at the blog at becleverwithyourcash.com/savings, which will give you a good indication of what you can get right now compared to that. So open up one of those 3 accounts, choose the one that is best for you, switch into it, and then that money is going to be yours, nice and easy. Now, I think we're going to see a lot more banking switching offers just like this one over the next few weeks and months. Obviously, they do also come and go. So if you want to make sure you are kept abreast of the best deals, the latest offers, you've got 2 places to go. One right here on the channel, every single month I do an update looking at the best banking deals, current account news, what's going on. Here's the playlist taking you through the most recent videos. You can catch up on those there. Plus you can go to the blog, becleverwithyourcash.com/banks. That is my long list of all the latest offers and deals. And I'll be updating that as soon as there is a change. So that's going to be the most up-to-date for a quick bite, and come back to the channel for that bigger analysis. My name is Andy Webb. I'd love to know what you've done in bank switching recently. How much have you made? Let me know in the comments below. And check out these videos right here for more ways to boost the money you get from your bank.